Dear students of class 9A and 9B, welcome to my class. Today's teaching, the previous lesson number 8, the Delhi Sultanate. The Delhi Sultanate. Kutubuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Rajia Sultan, Ghiyasuddin Balban. Today I am discussing about them. Who was Kutubuddin Aibak? Already in my previous class I taught you, but for your better understanding, I would like to recall your memories so far as to make you aware of and make you interested of the lesson. Who was Kutubuddin Aibak? Kutubuddin Aibak was a slave of his master Muhammad Ghori. Muhammad Ghori came to India with a view to establish his rule. So by defeating Prithviraj Chauhan in the second battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori appointed his favorite slave or favorite person, Kutubuddin Aibak, as the ruler of Ajmer and Delhi. In absence of Muhammad Ghori, Kutubuddin Aibak looked after. He became the governor of Delhi and Ajmer and looked after its administration. But as soon as Kutubuddin Aibak's master Muhammad Ghori passed away, Kutubuddin declared himself an independent ruler of the Delhi Sultanate and established Mamluk dynasty, means slave dynasty. Since Kutubuddin Aibak was a slave under his master Muhammad Ghori, and all others who gradually became ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, they all were slaves under Muhammad Ghori. That's why this dynasty is known as slave dynasty or Mamluk dynasty. So this is the first dynasty of the Delhi Sultanate established by Kutubuddin Aibak. Kutubuddin Aibak was not only a good politician, but a great administrator. He was a competent ruler. He was a man who constructed Watu Alam Mosque to introduce its architectural form, and at the same time he also started construction of Qutub Minar. He named it Qutub Minar in order to commemorate the image of Khaja Kutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki, the Sufi saint, and was unable to complete the construction because suddenly he died, and his son-in-law Iltutmish ascended the throne, and then Iltutmish also a slave, and hence Iltutmish from the very beginning was able to follow the policy of Kutubuddin Aibak. Then he also introduced a good system of administration by dividing provinces called Iqtas, and he also appointed a number of officials to look after the administration of the Iqtas. He made Delhi as his capital and organized the nobles. A group of nobles of 40 he organized and named it Chalisa. He completed the construction of Qutub Minar and then gave it a complete shape. In 1221 CE, Delhi Sultanate faced a major threat from Mongol. The time when the Iranian ruler took shelter from Iltutmish. Iltutmish was confused if the shelter should be given to the Iranian ruler or not. Meanwhile, the news reached Mangal Khan So that great invader Genghis Khan immediately decided to attack the dynasty of Iltutmish. Iltutmish was from the very beginning aware. He then and there decided not to give any shelter to the Iranian ruler. So Iranian ruler was avoided, and then Genghis Khan decided not to invade India. The time when Iltutmish became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Iltutmish's sons had no capability to rule such a dynasty or such a country, but only his daughter Rajia. That's why from the very beginning, Iltutmish was in favor of making her daughter the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Rajia was from the very beginning also interested to be a ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Rajia, the time when Iltutmish passed away, some nobles decided to make Iltutmish's son as the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, but he proved to be incompetent ruler, and then Rajia came to power. Rajia became the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Since Rajia was a woman ruler, that's why he did not use the name Sultana. Instead of Sultana, he always used the name Sultan, Rajia Sultan. And she proved an efficient ruler and came to the throne. Rajia Sultan was the fifth Mamluk ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. He ruled from 1236 to 1240. Only within 4 years of rule, he became very much strict and introduced a good system of administration. And the time when he became the Sultan, she proved to be very competent ruler. She led her army in war, but she also took action against corrupt nobles. But ultimately, she was killed by the hands of the nobles. And afterwards, Nasiruddin Mahmud, the son of Iltutmish, put on the throne, but he was completely ineffective as a ruler, but survived because of a cunning. But still, he was survived because of a cunning prime minister of Nasiruddin. Who was he? He was Ghiyasuddin Balban, very cunning prime minister of Nasiruddin Shah, the son of Iltutmish. So Nasiruddin knew that Ghiyasuddin Balban was very intelligent than him. So if he would make him his prime minister, he would always protect him from all dangers and he would suggest him good things, and by which he would be benefited and would continue rule. So Ghiyasuddin Balban was appointed prime minister by Iltutmish's son Nasiruddin Mahmud. The entire administration was left in the hands of Balban during his rule. Balban, as a prime minister, being honored, gave his daughter's hand to Iltutmish's son Nasiruddin Mahmud, and hence Ghiyasuddin Balban became his father-in-law also. Balban was the head of the Chalisa 40. That Chalisa means 40 Chalisa, a group of nobles which was formed by Iltutmish. Ghiyasuddin Balban became its head, the head of the 40 Chalisa, a group of 40 Turkish nobles who had become very influential since the time of Iltutmish. Now, who is Ghiyasuddin Balban? Ghiyasuddin Balban made himself the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate in 1266 BCE. After Nasiruddin's death, Ghiyasuddin Balban established a very strong empire, and at the same time he also severely punished those who rebelled against him. The time when he was supposed to be the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate, but as the Sultan he insisted everyone bow before him and touch his feet, thus introducing a country, culture or behavior to create a difference between the ruler and the ruled. So this practice was called Sizda. He introduced this system in order to make the people very much respectful towards the emperor, towards the ruler, so that they must consider a ruler to be the head of the country, to be head of the state, and that's why that system of Sizda he introduced. Ghiyasuddin Balban. Ghiyasuddin Balban's main aim was to make the country a powerful one and wanted to introduce the system by which the people would obey him. That's why Ghiyasuddin Balban introduced a policy not only for the growth and development of his country empire, but also to introduce a strict administration throughout the state, so that people must not harm the sentiment of Ghiyasuddin Balban and his state. That's why he introduced the system of Sizda. And at the time when the system of punishment he also introduced, most of them were not punished. Some of them were punished, but the punishment was very mild, because a very less number persons were punished. That's why there was no plotting. But some who rebelled or plotted against him, Ghiyasuddin Balban punished them. There was none who was left to be punished. It was due to the good network of spy system of Balban. Balban was given necessary informations for his state as a state. Balban by this way made himself powerful, and the people, Balban's rule became a very strong rule. Next day I shall discuss in detail form about Balban and his rule, and at the same time I shall give you some important homework. You please consult in your book and prepare homework in your diary, in your classwork or homework copies. Whenever, hello, my dear students, whenever you will get yourself free, because copies are with me, copies will be given back to you, then you prepare your homework in your copies. After this, and before finishing my class, once again I have to remind that the rule of Rajia and Ghiyasuddin Balban. Who was Rajia Sultan? Rajia Sultan was the daughter of Iltutmish. Who was Nasiruddin Mahmud? Nasiruddin Mahmud was the son of Iltutmish, but failed to achieve success because Nasiruddin Shah's ability was not like a ruler. He was a very simple-minded person. He could not understand the basic concept of politics, but his simplicity created advantages to other powers. It was due to Nasiruddin Mahmud, the other ruler, challenged the authority of the Delhi Sultanate, and hence the time when Rajia Sultan became the ruler. Rajia Sultan introduced a good administration. He strictly checked the growing influence of the local rulers, and ultimately Rajia Sultan also was killed. And when Rajia Sultan was killed, there was none to look after it. Once again, Nasiruddin Mahmud was made the ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Nasiruddin Shah immediately appointed one most eminent person, very powerful one, whose name was Ghiyasuddin Balban. Ghiyasuddin Balban also was made Prime Minister by Nasiruddin Mahmud. And Ghiyasuddin Balban was honored when he was appointed Prime Minister of Prime Minister of the Delhi Sultanate. So Ghiyasuddin Balban established matrimonial relationship and relation with with Nasiruddin Shah Mahmud. Gave his daughter's hand for Nasiruddin. Nasiruddin married her daughter. So by this way, Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, by this way, Ghiyasuddin Balban came to power, rose to power, and after his father-in-law's death, Ghiyasuddin Balban strengthened his empire, divided his empire in various parts, and then he also organized the group Chalisa strongly, and they created difference between the ruler and ruled by introducing various laws and by framing many rules and regulations for the people, common people, and this practice was known as Sizda. And by this way, Balban became a famous and powerful ruler of the Delhi Sultanate. Next day, the remaining part will be continued. Thank you, my dear students.